Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. Just like we promised in the last one, when we did our podcast for the Alien VHS, now we're doing a podcast for the Aliens DVD.
For those who are new to Aliens, um, there actually was the special edition of the movie. So just like Alien having the director's cut in 2003, the special edition was released first in 1991 as a collector's edition in the Laserdisc. Um, but the VHS was released as part of the Alien Legacy, the Alien Legacy box sets on DVD or VHS, both released in 1999. Well, all of them, all four of them were released in 1999. And this time, unlike Alien, this movie is not directed by Ridley Scott. It is instead directed by James Cameron, who some people may know him to do Titanic, The Terminator, and he also did, I believe he did Avatar, the two films, and the third one coming out in the 19th of December this year. And I think that's probably some of the eight movies I know. We don't talk about Piranha 2 because that was a but anyways, for the 1999 DVD of Aliens, it of course it starts out with the red warning screen, like all Fox DVDs had back in the day, until 2005 when they just showed the attention screen rather than just showing it both of them. So okay. Since this movie is kind of like about like more almost 3 hours, but it's almost like 2 hours total, there's no previews, with the exception of one. One preview what is just talking about is just for the promotion of or it's just a promotion for the Alien Legacy, and it has very, very eerie music. I believe that was from Alien. I think that's from Alien 3. And if you don't see the xenomorph tail crawls around before it goes away, at least you're grateful there's no jump scare from the creature itself. Thankfully, thank goodness for that. The VHS won't get into too much, but basically, most of the previews are just basically the same as Alien. The only difference is that you just get the theatrical trailer for Aliens, which even though it is more action packed, it is an action film. It's still rated R. It's not like Aliens is PG-13, that is. But you'll see why in a minute.
Yeah.
The menu screen is actually interesting. You actually get, I believe, cameras from various Marines as with their motion tracker. And let me see if I can find the DVD menu. But like I said, the movie starts. No, not the movie. The DVD menu starts off with a squad location for showing remote camera feeds from Apone. Well, in the menu, the first menu screen, or the main menu, that is. When you select scenes, or no, language selection, you get camera's point of view for Hudson, played by the late Bill Paxton. Scene selection just indicates Vasquez showing all the scenes of the movie. But there's 34 total. And when you select extra features, you just get a camera point of view or a camera from Dwayne Hicks. And I don't think you may see, but there actually are. There's a in Hicks's camera, you see face-hugger, a lot of face-hugger eggs. But don't worry, they don't jump out and scare you, unlike the first Alien. That is. Bonus features just shows you the behind the scenes of the film, photo gallery, interview with James Cameron, and trailers. They're not trailers, or not. There's no sneak peeks, probably because of how long the Alien movies were, or because of how long the movie is already. But since this is kind of the Alien legacy, they had to show all the trailers for all 4 of the Alien movies. Yeah, that's right, 4, because Prometheus, Prometheus, Covenant, and Romulus didn't come out in the time until the late 2010s and 2020s. So trailers are for, of course, Aliens, but of course, Alien 3 and Resurrection, and a teaser that everyone gets scared the crap out of from the first VHS of Alien.
Are you talking about the DVD menu?
Yes, I am.
I kind of wanted to talk about like the order and like the order of how I guess the little kid, while little kids are watching it. You know what I mean? There's no
When you
previews.
select play of the DVD menu, when you select play, even though we did mention this in the unsettling play movie sequence, which you may check out, well, you hear, if it can load on me, please. You hear this. And of course, THX, after the Fox logo. The Broadway version in a different key rather than the E key in the VHS. And the logo, of course, for 20th Century Fox. It has a different orchestra theme than than Alien. And the movie actually begins with
Do you need to look? Do you need to look up the?
oh, there's the plot. Okay, there we go. I was like, oh, where was it for the special edition? Because oh, there it is. Okay. The movie starts out with well, let me start over. After the incident aboard the Nostromo, sole survivor Ellen Ripley was rescued from her drifting shuttle by a deep salvage vessel and sent to recuperate at Gateway Station. She was devastated to learn that she had been adrift in space for 57 years. Yeah, that's right, 57 upon waking. But even before, but of course, before we see what happened with Ripley, we get the logo of the movie is I don't know, it's kind of eerie, but I mean, how do I say it? The music is very, very loud. No wonder why THX digitally mastered it. I get it. But anyways, At an inquest before a panel of executives, her testimony regarding the alien and its role in the destruction of the Nostromo is met with extreme skepticism, as no physical evidence of the creature had been found. She lost her spaceflight license and learns that the planetoid, known as the LV-426, where her crew first encountered the alien eggs, is now home to a terraforming colony. Sometime later, Ripley was visited by Carter Burke, a representative from her former employer, Wayland Yutani, and Lieutenant Gorman of the Colonial Marines, who informed her that contact had been lost with the colony on LV-426. The company intends to dispatch Burke and a unit of Marines to investigate, and offers to restore Ripley's flight status and pick up her contract if she will accompany them as a consultant. Traumatized by her previous encounter with the alien, she initially refused to become involved, but changed her mind when Burke assures her there will be no attempt to study the xenomorphs, and that any creatures they encounter will be destroyed. Oh, that explains what she said in the trailer. That was you're going out there to destroy them, not to study, and not to bring back, but to wipe them out. That's the plan. Aboard the warship Sulaco, Ripley is introduced to the Colonial Marine Squad, including Sergeant Apone, Corporal Hicks, and Privates Vasquez and Hudson. She also meets the team's android, Bishop, played by Lance Henriksen, aka Kerchak from Tarzan, toward whom she is openly hostile due to her experiences with the murderous Ash aboard the Nostromo. But don't worry, spoiler alert, Bishop is not that kind of android, unlike Ash, thankfully. Thanks, James Cameron, I'll be honest with you. We don't need another murderous android. Unlike Bishop, unlike Ash, though. Look what happened to him.
Yeah. Oh boy, that guy. He again, that white stuff coming out of him was gross.
It was gross. And that reveal alone is ugh. Especially the fact that he almost choked Ripley to death. At least Bishop wouldn't be doing that ever.
And keep in mind, this is the same as that guy who played the lovable Bilbo Baggins, the comedic Chef Skinner, and the wise, I guess you can say, Cornelius.
Mm-hmm.
From the Fifth Element, you know.
Reaching LV-426, the heavily armed exhibition descends to the surface via dropship, where they found the colony damaged and seemingly abandoned. 2 living xenomorph facehuggers are found in contaminated tanks in the medical lab, but the only colonist encountered is a traumatized young girl nicknamed Newt. Since this is the special edition, there was one scene that explained why is Newt traumatized. Well, she was actually not alone. She was actually with her family, her brother Timmy, and her mom and dad Russ and Ain Jordan. Basically, they were driving across the surface of LV-426. It became clear that what they have been sent out to search for. Russ was getting Anne's attention as the D-Relax ship appeared out of the gloom, aka the ship that, basically the Nostromo crew found in the first Alien. But this time, Russ suggests to his wife they can go inside and look around. Bad move. Remember what happened to Kane? Definitely. Don't do that. But in all seriousness, Russ told Aang, wait until we know what to call it in as. They pulled up alongside as they head inside through a crack in the ship's hull to investigate, leaving the children in the tractor. As night falls and time passed, Aang suddenly burst back into the tractor, frantically calling for help on the radio. And unfortunately for Newt, she saw that her father was lying outside, with a face hugger wrapped around his head, causing her to start screaming. Ew, great. Well, at least you're grateful you don't see another face hugger jump scare off screen. And fun fact, in the special edition, Burke actually informed Ripley about her daughter Amanda Ripley, who actually died 2 years prior, since she was 66-year-old, and her ashes, and tells her where her ashes are buried. And from what I hear from the trivia, Ripley was not Sigourney Weaver, who played Ripley, was not happy that the plot involving her deceased daughter had been removed from the theatrical release of the film, and considered to be very crucial to her character's development in the movie, which is the one fun fact, which I'm probably glad I saw the special edition anyway. But anyways, after that, moving right along, after discovering Newt, the Marines determined that the rest of the colonists are clustered in the nearby atmosphere processing station. They found a large nest filled with the bodies of the colonists, who had been cocooned to the walls and used as hosts for more xenomorphs. The creatures later then attack, killing or capturing most of the unit. Ripley commandeers the group's APC and is able to rescue Hicks, Vasquez, and Hudson. With Gorman knocked unconscious during the scene, Hicks assumes command and orders the dropship to recover the survivors, intending to return to the Sulaco and destroy the colony site from orbit. However, a stowaway xenomorph kills the dropship crew in flight, causing the craft to crash into the atmosphere processor, destroying the ship and the APC and most of the Marines' equipment. The survivors barricade themselves inside the colony complex as they were stranded. But before that, we get this famous quote that everyone loved. Game over, man! Game over!
Game over indeed. Oh gosh.
Yeah, game over indeed. Game over indeed. After that, after barricading themselves in the colony complex, Ripley had discovered that Burke unintentionally triggered the destruction of the settlement, where he ordered the colonists to investigate the derelict ship, where the Nostromo crew first encountered the xenomorph eggs, acting on the testimony she gave that they're being rescued. Confronting him, Burke reveals that he hopes to return his xenomorph specimens to the company laboratories, where he can profit from their search. Ripley threatens to expose him, but Bishop soon informs the group of a greater danger. The damaged atmosphere processor has become unstable and will soon detonate with the force of a thermomolecular weapon. He volunteers to use the colony's transmitter to pilot the Sulaco's remaining dropship to the surface by remote control so that the group can escape. As they await the dropship's arrival, Ripley and Newt fell asleep in the medical lab, waking to find themselves locked in a room with 2 face huggers, which had been released from their tanks. They're loose.
What was that?
It's true. Those figures, those face huggers were loose. It's like, what the heck? When they got released, oh dear. Just when you thought the first time you saw the face hugger was scary, the second one, oh boy, you're in for a real treat. Anyway, in all seriousness, yes, they have been released from their tanks. Ripley was able to alert the Marines, who was able to rescue them and kill the creatures. Setting out, with of course Ripley setting out or having the smoke alarms go off with the sprinklers. But how can the Marines get in? Well, I think we see a very, very badass move. Yes, badass. Excuse my language for once. Because as one of the Marines was starting to shoot the glass, Hank breaks it, jumps it, leaps, and breaks through. Oh my goodness. I mean, again, this is a James Cameron film, so you expect more action from him. A lot of action from James, of course. And when the face huggers were killed, you get no acid splurring all over the place, which is the first. Unlike the Xenomorph shootout. After that unexpected turn of events, Ripley accused Burke of being responsible for releasing the two face huggers from their tanks, suggesting that he was attempting to save her, and Newt impregnated so that he could smuggle the implanted Xenomorph embryos past the Earth's quarantine. Now, at least Burke is not an android, thankfully. Oh, jeez.
He still sucks, though.
Yeah, he still sucks indeed.
Carter Burke is the... Let's be honest. Carter Burke is easily considered to be the worst character in the whole freaking franchise.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I do agree. It's like, why would you release the two face huggers from their tanks just so you can get the specimens of the Xenomorph passing Earth's quarantine? It's like, what?
Just wrong.
Again, at least Burke is not a android, unlike Ash, of course. So let's be thankful for that one.
Yeah, at least Ash had Ian Holmes' charisma.
Yeah, he does. And well, anyways, moving right along, the Marines elected to execute Burke from his treachery. But before they can act, the electricity is suddenly cut off. How can they cut the power off, man? They're animals. That's what I'm saying, Hudson. How can they cut the power off?
What is the name of that actor?
Bill Paxton.
Oh, he was in Spy Kids. He was in the second and third one.
Oh.
He played a character named Stinky Winks.
Yeah. I never knew.
A trilogy you still need to see.
Yep. I really need to do. But anyways, during the shootout of, well, before that, who cut off the power? A swarm of Xenomorphs.
Oh, I would be terrified. Those things are. And people like to say that ET is scarier than them.
if you see thousands or hundreds of xenomorphs crawling upside down from the ceiling, watch out.
It's just, yeah. But here's the thing: there are several Xenomorph fans who say that, like, there are several people who say Xenomorphs are not scary, Predators are not scary, but yet they say that E.T., who is literally a children's character, mind you, is absolutely terrifying.
What you think you were seeing? Mac and Me? Oh, no. Never.
Don't get me started. That movie sucks.
Yeah, but even then, the aliens are very terrifying itself. I don't think E.T. is terrifying itself. It's a Steven Spielberg film because he did Jurassic Park, so he would never find a way to scare people unless if he did an R-rated monster film. But as the xenomorphs were attacking through the ceiling, all of the Marines started having a shootout. But whatever happened to Burke, though, we don't know what his fate is. Some people may say that he got killed off, but if he was, then no, good riddance. Don't want to see him again.
Yeah, I've heard that even what is the name of Ricardo Burke's actor?
Let me look. I think his name was Paul Reiser, I believe.
Paul Reiser's own family cheered for his character's death.
Oh, Reiser must have gotten embarrassed. But yeah. Unfortunately, during the battle, Vasquez, Gorman, and Hudson were all killed / or captured during the battle, with Ripley and Hicks, who briefly escaped with Newt. Unfortunately for the little girl, she was taken when they encountered more xenomorphs, while Hicks was seriously wounded. How did he get wounded? I don't know. Some of the acid must have gone into his face.
Ouch.
Ouch. Yeah, ouch indeed. Ouch indeed.
Oh man. Oh, this is what Bowser's thinking. Oh, this movie sucks. No, Blind Honey is way better. Shut up.
Are you sure about that? I gotta say, I'm looking at screenshots of Aliens. I gotta say, the water scene involving Newt and the xenomorph is, terrifying. It's more terrifying than any other slasher film you would see nowadays. I mean, just to think, you're in the water and the xenomorph is right behind you. Oh, your fate will soon be met.
Oh gosh. Oh my god.
Even if it's directed by James Cameron, it still counts as horror film. It's still rated R, but still, it's still rated R. It is still rated R.
Meanwhile, Avatar is rated PG-13.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's still even Avatar's PG-13. And meanwhile, even though Jurassic Park had a novel by Michael Crichton, at least it's PG-13. Don't want to know what that'd be like if it was rated R.
Oh gosh.
I don't want to know ever. But we're not talking about Jurassic Park. We're into Aliens. But anyways, back to the scene. Yes, Hicks was wounded while Newt was taken by one of the xenomorphs. And after that, Ripley got Hicks to the second dropship, but unfortunately refused to leave Newt behind. She assembled a combination weapon using a pulse rifle and a flamethrower before heading into the hive in the processing station to rescue Newt. She finds her before she can be impregnated, but the two then encounter the huge xenomorph queen in her egg chamber. Ripley destroys the eggs, which enrage the queen, who tears herself loose from her enormous ovipositor, and gives chase through the falling processor station. Ripley and Newt rendezvous with Bishop and Hicks in the dropship and escape moments before the colony is consumed by the nuclear blast.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen this movie yet, but I would not want that giant alien queen chasing me.
We all don't. I don't want to know what people would be like if people play like alien horror games like Isolation or the Alien's Dark Descent, or well, mostly Isolation with an alien chasing after you. Nope. Get out of the room now. Don't get jump scared.
Yeah.
At the Solical, Ripley and Bishop's relief at the narrow escape was unfortunately interrupted by when the Queen stowed away in the dropship's landing gear, impaling Bishop and tearing him in half.
Stowed away, just like what her son in the first film did.
Yep. The Queen advances on Newt, but Ripley intervenes and battles the Queen using an exosuit cargo loader. And here comes one of the most famous lines that everyone likes, especially for something that's in the 80s. And that would have to be none other than, well, get ready for this. Hold on. Get away from her, you! No, wait. No. Hold on. Get away from her, you!
It's up there with R.J. McCrady's line from The Thing.
Yep. It's up there, too. It's up there from the 80s, especially for the 80s. After that famous line, the two of them tumble into a very, very large airlock, which Ripley then opens, expelling the Queen into space. Ripley barely clambers to safety, while Bishop saves Newt from being sucked out after the Queen, earning Ripley's admiration. Not bad for a human. Yeah. At least for Bishop being teared in half, at least he's not a real human, because otherwise his guts and blood would have be all over the place.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this movie would be NC-17. Oh, wait. Nope. Still R. Never mind.
What was I trying to say? You caught me off guard with that. Okay, let's be honest. The Alien Queen is terrifying, right?
Yep.
But at least she's not unlikable.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know who is unlikable?
Yep.
Carter freaking Burke.
That's true. Burke is very unlikable after what he just did right now.
So you know the saying that of TV tropes, right? Jerks are worse than villains.
Yep.
Obviously, the Alien Queen is the villain, and Carter Burke is the jerk.
Yeah. Exactly.
So Carter Burke, a human being, is much worse than the literal leader of the Xenomorphs.
Yeah, because Burke is always to someone to not trust.
Yeah.
Even if he was an android, then that would be a different story, or maybe the same as what happened with Ash in the first one.
Yeah.
At the very end of the climax, Ripley helps Hicks and Bishop into hypersleep before she and Newt bed down for the return journey to Earth. And that's how the movie ends.
But wait. We get something at the very end of the credits.
And people will be asking, what would that be?
I'm not going to say it. Look it up. Okay, just...
Hmm.
You could just look up Aliens 1986 in credits and go to the very end.
All right. Hold on. Closing to Aliens. Okay, that counts. Very end. Trying to find one. Hang on, hold on. Owner's motion picture, yep, all that. We get a logo for DVCC. Huh. Well, that's the Digital Video Compression Center. Okay, credits, music, or unless if I have to. Hold on. Or maybe oh, there it is. We hear the sound of a face hugger. Oh, there it is. If it was a jump scare, then I'm out. I am out. Oh, okay. There's the. Why did I miss that? Let me hear that again. If people are not didn't hear that, that's actually a face hugger. Either it's scuttering about, or it's the sound of an egg about to hatch. Again, if there was a jump scare, then I'm out.
But thankfully, we don't get a jump scare. It's still terrifying, though.
Yeah, it's terrifying indeed. And yeah, we already had to deal with I know what else is terrifying. We already had to deal with the theatrical trailer of Alien before the movie even began. Otherwise, I think that is probably it for Aliens. For anyone who's going to watch the film, the special edition is definitely what I recommend because, I don't know, from what I hear from James Cameron, it's his preferred release of over the theatrical because, I mean, hey, it's a movie that I don't usually go for like director's cuts or special editions. But for Aliens, I think the special edition definitely fixes that. The only special edition I probably would not count is probably E.T.
Oh gosh, no. they turned him into a CGI abomination. The most controversial thing of things of all is the fact that they replaced the guns with walkie-talkies.
Oh, jeez.
CGI, by the way, walkie-talkies.
What a worse way to not spend budget for even using props.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, what else do you have to say before we decide what we do for the next for next time we do a podcast and then this one off?
Well, a few things I say. If you have a xenomorph problem or a facehugger problem, get Ellen Ripley and the Marines on the line. Pronto, ASAP.
Yeah.
Don't get a knife. You need gunfire or firepower, or maybe a post rifle and a flamethrower combined.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, do you know what DVD we have not done a podcast on yet?
I don't think I really never thought of it.
Well, a full-length podcast anyway. We did a full-length podcast on the Finding Nemo Disc 2 DVD. We did a full-length podcast on the Cars DVD. I think next time maybe we should do a full-length podcast on the Toy Story DVD.
I mean, since this year is the 30th anniversary of Toy Story, that makes sense.
Yeah, let's do that next time. Well, guys, that was a great This was the fun while it lasted, but like I always say, all fun things come to an end. We'll see y'all next time for our podcast on the 2005 Toy Story DVD. Again, and in the order from the previews to the main menu to the actual movie itself, nothing else. See ya, guys.